Hello and welcome to our channel at Government Law College Sirohi. The purpose for creation of this channel is to teach various law subject that is being taught by Mohanlal Sukhadia University to LLB first year, second year and third year students. It is an initiative of Directorate of College Education Jaipur, and as per the direction received, we are recording these videos. Uh, my name is Vijay Kumar. I am Assistant Professor Law at Government Law College Sirohi. So, in the first two lectures, we have studied about the contract of guarantee and indemnity. This lecture also we will continue with the contract of guarantee. Uh, this is law of contract part 2. In the law of contract part 1, which is the part of syllabus of contract 1 being taught to LLB first year student, the general principle of contract are there in part 1, right from section 1 to 75. Here in law of contract part 2, we have the specific types of contract. The first one is contract of guarantee and indemnity. So let's go to directly to contract of guarantee. Now, what is contract of guarantee? The definition of contract of guarantee is given under section 126 of the Indian Contract Act. The definition says that the contract of guarantee is a contract to perform the promise made or to discharge the liability of a third person in case of his default. So it is very basic. It's a type of contract. So all these specific type of contract are the type of contract only. So the general principle are with respect to competency, with respect to capacity, with respect to other uh, legal conditions are applicable to contract of guarantee also. So what it says is that it is a type of contract to perform a promise. So either to perform a promise or to discharge the liability. Only condition is that it is not a contract to perform the promise for himself. The party that is promising is not performing for himself, but for the third person, on behalf of a third person. And he is not discharging the liability of himself, but of a third person. And in which case, when the third person defaults. So whenever there is a default committed by third person, the person who is performing the uh, promise will honor the commitment. So there are three parties in it. So this is a specific thing about contract of guarantee, that in a general there are two parties involved in every contract, the promiser and the promisee. Here in this case there are three parties. So what are those three parties? The first one is surety, the second one is principal debtor, and the third one is the person to whom the guarantee is given, that is the creditor. So creditor and the principal debtor, so because there is three party, so three contracts are involved. The first contract is between creditor and the principal debtor. The second contract is between creditor and the surety, and there is a third contract between the debtor and the surety. So the contract between creditor and principal debtor is known as the primary contract. The contract between creditor and surety is known as the secondary contract. And the third contract, which is between debtor, principal debtor, and the surety, that is the contract is not in writing and it is not expressed, but it is a type of implied contract which exists, and there are certain obligation also flows from this type of contract as well. Now, what are these parties? So who is surety, who is principal debtor, and who is the creditor? To understand this, we have to take an example. So suppose we'll take an example of say uh, while taking a bank loan. So guarantee is mostly applicable while obtaining any bank loan. So sometimes what happens that the creditor, in this case that is bank. So if a bank is giving loan to the debtor, that means principal debtor. So if a bank is giving loan to the borrower, then uh, not in all cases, but in some cases, the security that is provided by the debtor is not sufficient to meet the or recover the loan amount. So what the creditor will do, bank will ask this principal debtor to provide certain security or to provide a guarantee. So he will bring a guarantee of a third person. So that person who is giving guarantee on behalf of principal debtor will be known as surety. These are going to be three parties. Now what will happen, that the creditor will ask the principal debtor, in case he default, the first he will ask the principal debtor to repay the amount. If the principal debtor does not repay, then the creditor have equal right to proceed against surety, the same right which the creditor is having against uh, the first party. So equal right is available against the creditor. Creditor is having equal right against the principal debtor as well as surety. These are going to be the three parties. So in the example that we are going to discuss here, uh, when A requests B to lend 10,000 rupees to C and guarantees that C will repay the amount within the agreed time, and that on C failing to do so, A will himself pay to B, there is a contract of guarantee. So in this case, what is happening, A रिक्वेस्ट करता है बी को कि आप मुझे 10,000 रुपीज दो, सॉरी ए रिक्वेस्ट करता है बी को कि आप 10,000 रुपीज सी को दो, और उस 10,000 के रुपीज के लिए मैं आपको गारंटी देता हूं, अगर सी पेमेंट नहीं करेगा 10,000 का विद इंटरेस्ट वापस, तो ए ऑब्लाइज हिमसेल्फ टू pay that amount to B. Now, if C fails to do so, then in that case, A will be liable personally to pay that amount to B. So, B in this case is having a contract with A of guarantee, and B is also having a contract with C for giving the loan. So, there is a two contract that B is having with these two persons. In the same manner, A is also having contract with B, and A is also having an implied contract with C. The third contract is between B and C. So there are three type of contracts are there in this case. Now again, these are two examples. You can go through these example which I have already discussed. Now, what is the analysis of the definition that we have discussed and the example we have seen? The analysis is that the guarantee is a promise to pay a debt owed by a third person in case the latter does not pay. This is the same thing, that if a person does not uh, pay the amount, so it is a promise not only to pay a debt, it is also a promise to perform an obligation. So it may not be with respect to money only, it may be with respect to certain act, with respect to certain obligation, with respect to performing certain act. So it can be anything. Okay. So as per the definition, it may be a promise to perform something, or it may be a promise to discharge a liability. So in both cases, it may be applicable. Now, the second part is that which is given under, I think, section 2, 127 of this act, that a guarantee contract may either be written in express terms, or it may be verbal. That means it may be oral. So it can either be in a written form or it can be verbal. But in case if it is a written form, it will be easy to identify and it will be easy to ascertain the liability. In oral case, it will be little difficult. Uh, that depends on the code to ascertain. From the above definition, it is very clear that a contract to guarantee is a tripartite agreement between principal debtor, creditor, and surety. This is a contract between these three parties. There are in effect three contracts. So with this one we have already discussed, a principal contract, that is a primary contract between principal debtor and the creditor. There is a secondary contract between the creditor and the surety. And third, there is an implied contract between surety and the principal debtor. So what happens is that, let's see, the suppose a person who is the creditor gives certain amount of money to the debtor. So एक सपोज कीजिए कि X ने कुछ अमाउंट दिया Y को, सपोज कीजिए 1,00,000 रुपीज Y को दिया. नाउ एट द टाइम ऑफ गिविंग द अमाउंट, X ने Y को बोला कि मुझे आप भरोसा नहीं है पूरा, आप ऐसा कीजिए, किसी श्योरिटी को लेके आ जाइए, तो अगर आप फेल करते हो तो मैं श्योरिटी से रिकवर कर लूँगा। सो व्हाट एक्स सॉरी व्हाट वाई डज, वाई ब्रिंग जेड इनटू पिक्चर, और जेड वाई के लिए गारंटी दे देता है एक्स को। एक्स उस गारंटी को ध्यान में रखते हुए 1 लाख रुपीज़ जो है वाई को दे देता है। अब इसमें ऐसा होता है कि ओरिजिनल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जो है आपका एक्स और वाई के बीच में है, पैसा लेने देने का। देन देर इज अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिटवीन एक्स एंड जेड अबाउट द गारंटी। सो अगर वाई फेल करता है तो जो सेकेंडरी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है उसको इन्फोर्स करने का जो राइट है वो एक्स के पास रहता है, तो एक्स जेड से रिकवर कर सकता है पैसा। एंड देर इज अ थर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, अगर जेड एक्स को पैसा चुका देता है वाई के बिहाफ पे, तो जेड के पास अल्टीमेटली राइट बन जाता है वाई के अगेंस्ट में प्रोसीड करने का। So there is an implied contract between surety and the principal debtor, whereby principal debtor is under an obligation to indemnify the surety. So indemnity का contract create हो जाता है implied contract between Y and Z, whereby जो आपका श्योरिटी है वो इंडेमनिटी क्लेम कर सकता है वाई के अगेंस्ट में, और वाई को बोल सकता है कि मैंने जो तेरे भी आप पे पैसा एक्स को चुकाया है वो पैसे की भरपाई तुम मुझे कर। तो वाई कैन ओनली क्लेम दैट अमाउंट प्लस इंटरेस्ट, नो अदर कॉस्ट कैन बी क्लेम्ड अंडर दैट। नाउ हियर वन थिंग दैट इज टू बी नोटेड इज दैट जो श्योरिटी का राइट है, श्योरिटी का राइट टू प्रोसीड बेसिकली अगेंस्ट द प्रिंसिपल डेटर, वो जो है अफेक्ट नहीं होगा इस कंडीशन से कि क्रेडिटर ने जो है एक्शन नहीं लिए प्रिंसिपल डेटर के अगेंस्ट में। सो सपोज कीजिए हमारे एग्जांपल वाले केस में एक्स ये डिसाइड करता है एक्स वाई के अगेंस्ट में कोई प्रोसीडिंग ना लेके जेड से ही मतलब गारंटर से ही पैसा रिकवर कर लेता है, तो उस केस में जो जेड का जो राइट है वाई के अगेंस्ट में प्रोसीड करके इंडेमनिटी क्लेम करने का, वो यहाँ पे डिफीट हो जाता है। सो इन दिस केस ओके, सो इन दिस केस व्हाट विल हैपन, वो जो डिमांड है जेड की वो लीगल रहेगी, and it will not be affected by whatever action that is not being taken by the creditor. Now there are certain features of this essential feature of the contract of guarantee. So we'll discuss these features. These 5-6 features are there. So the first is that there has to be a debt. Okay, this is the primary condition. If there is no debt, there is no guarantee. For the existence of guarantee, there has to be some payment of debt. There must be some money that is due by one person to other person. So the purpose of guarantee being to secure the payment of debt. मैंने आपको जैसे बताया आपको कि बैंक लोन के केस में या कोई भी पर्सन किसी को उधार पैसा देता है तो उस केस में गारंटी का जो है यूज होता है। सो द पर्पस इज दैट टू सिक्योर द पेमेंट ऑफ डेट, कि एक सिक्योरिटी क्रिएट करना ताकि जो डेट है, जो लोन है, उसका पेमेंट हो जाए। तो देर मस्ट बी वन पर्सन क्लेमिंग सर्टेन अमाउंट फ्रॉम अदर पर्सन, and there has to be some consideration for that amount. So consideration is something which we have discussed. Consideration is something which have some monetary value, some kind of value in the eyes of law, and the consideration must flow from both the side. I mean, the promisor as well as the promisee. Without consideration, as we have discussed under general principle of contract, a contract without consideration is void. So there has to be some consideration. The quantum of consideration is not important, the amount is not important, but there has to be some consideration for the contract. So suppose if A gives certain amount to B and B promises him to repay, this is a consideration sufficient for A and B. A is giving the amount and B is promising to pay. This is going to be a sufficient consideration. But if there is some gift that is given by A to B, in this case, there is no claim of A against B as such. So the part of consideration is missing. So in this case, the contract will not be valid. However, there need not be any direct consideration between the surety and the creditor. So श्योरिटी और क्रेडिटर के बीच में कोई डायरेक्ट कंसिडरेशन होना जरूरी नहीं है। अगर श्योरिटी सॉरी अगर क्रेडिटर एंड प्रिंसिपल डेटर के बीच की जो कंसिडरेशन है वो श्योरिटी के लिए सफिशिएंट कंसिडरेशन है, तो सो इट इज़ नॉट रिक्वायर्ड दैट श्योरिटी मस्ट आल्सो हैव अ सेपरेट कंसिडरेशन विद द क्रेडिटर। सो प्राइमरी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की जो कंसिडरेशन है वो सेकेंडरी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की कंसिडरेशन के लिए सफिशिएंट है। नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू लीव these examples. So we'll discuss one of these example. B requests A to sell and deliver to him goods on credit. Okay. A agrees to do so provided C will guarantee the payment of the price of the goods. C promises to guarantee the payment in consideration of A's promise to deliver the goods. As per section 127, there is sufficient consideration for C's promise, therefore the guarantee is valid. So इस केस में क्या हो रहा है, B रिक्वेस्ट करता है, B जो है गारंटी, B रिक्वेस्ट करता है A को कि कुछ सामान जो है डिलीवर कर दे हम उसको उधार पे, क्रेडिट पे। ए एग्री हो जाता है बी को उधार देने के लिए, प्रोवाइडेड दैट सी विल प्रोवाइड गारंटी। सो सी इज एक्टिंग एज अ श्योरिटी फॉर ए on behalf of A for the payment of amount to B. So that consideration that is there between A and B is a sufficient consideration for the purpose of surety that is being provided by C. So what is this consideration for guarantee? Any promise made, anything done, or for the benefit of principal debtor. So either any promise made or anything done for or behalf of principal debtor. Now the first one was payment of debt and the second one was consideration. The third essential condition for the purpose of contract of guarantee is the existence of liability. So there has to be some liability. I mean, if there is no liability, just the prior example which I have taken, in case of gift, in case of any other amount given without creating any liability, without any claim. So if there is no liability, no legal liability, uh, so for example, in case of time bar debt, also time bar debt is not legally enforceable. So in that case also, the contract of guarantee in case of time bar debt will not be enforceable against the surety. So as per section 142, the fourth condition is that there has to be no misrepresentation or concealment of fact. At the time of giving the guarantee, if the surety, some fact, some important fact was concealed or misrepresented to the surety, then in that case, the surety can claim exemption from the liability. So any guarantee which has been obtained by the means of, I mean, any guarantee which is obtained by means of misrepresentation made by creditor or with his knowledge and assent concerning a material part of transaction, it is an invalid contract. So it is quite clear. अगर किसी चीज़ को छुपाया गया है श्योरिटी से और फिर उसकी गारंटी ऑब्टेन की गई है, या उसके नॉलेज के बिना कोई फैक्ट उससे कंसील किया गया है, या किसी चीज़ के प्रति साइलेंट रहा गया है और गारंटी ऑब्टेन की गई है, तो उस केस में वो लायबल नहीं होगा. Now this example is very good. Here A engages B as a clerk to collect money for him. A ने B को engage किया as a clerk उसके behalf में money collect करने के लिए. B जो है वो कुछ रिसिप्ट को अकाउंट नहीं करता है और ये चीज़ A को पता होती है. लेटर ऑन C की गारंटी ली जाती है लेकिन C से ये चीज़ छुपाई जाती है. तो C, if something happens, then C can claim exemption because the fact of non-accounting of certain receipt by A was not disclosed by B to C. Now, here we have already discussed this one. Writing is not necessary, so the contract can be oral or can be written as per 126. Now, joining of other co-sureties. The other factor is that where a person gives a guarantee upon a contract that the creditor shall not act upon it until another person has joined in it as a co-surety, the guarantee is not valid if there is other person. So what happens is that अगर एक surety बोलता है कि मैं अकेला गारंटी नहीं दूंगा, आप एक और आदमी की गारंटी लाओ या दो चार लोगों की गारंटी लाओ, तो अगर उसे को-श्योरिटी की जरूरत है और एक्शन सिर्फ एक श्योरिटी के अगेंस्ट में ली जाती है, को-श्योरिटी को छोड़ दिया जाता है, तो देन इन दैट केस द गारंटी जो ऑब्टेन की गई है वो वैलिड नहीं रहेगी. दैट इम्प्लाइज द गारंटी बाय अ श्योरिटी इज नॉट वैलिड इफ ए कंडीशन इज इम्पोज्ड बाय श्योरिटी दैट द अदर पर्सन मस्ट आल्सो जॉइन एज अ को-श्योरिटी. सो अगर श्योरिटी ने ये कंडीशन रखी है कि अदर पर्सन को ज्वाइन करना चाहिए को श्योरिटी के लिए और ज्वाइन नहीं किया जाता है तो उस केस में वो एग्जेम्पशन क्लेम कर सकता है. Types of guarantee we'll discuss in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye.